welcome to the Better1 podcast. As always, I'm Josh, and I'm joined by Jacksonville's finest, Glazed, everyone.
Hey,
Actually, Justin Belligis is actually my cousin, so therefore we are family, but that means the band, therefore, is my family as well. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Orlando.
Thank you, sir. Josh and I come from the same, our family comes from the same small Indiana town.
Yeah. And
so,
a lot of
just
Midwestern
that puts us on a
ways.
vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Puts us on a vibe.
So what I'll do, since I already introduced you, I'll let everybody else go around and introduce themselves for posterity, because I don't want to leave anybody out.
Okay.
Go ahead, Justin.
So I'm Justin. I sing and I play guitar in a band called Glazed.
Hi, my name's Reed, and I play guitar, and sometimes I sing in Glazed, and my favorite ice cream flavor is peanut butter chocolate chip.
Hi, my name's Brian. I play in Glazed and play bass, and that's about it.
My name's Liam. I play drums in Glazed. Thank you.
And they all love dolphins, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see by our backdrop, which is pretty cool.
Our podcast writer said dolphin back.
Yeah, that's what we went with. So I actually had the pleasure of coming to your Orlando show, which is the first stop on your Bliss and Glaze tour.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
It was amazing. I loved it. I mean,
You ever been to the Falcon before?
I have not. Like, I heard it and about it, and I was like looking it up. I'm like, art gallery / bar. Well, at least there's a bar. Like, that's all. I was kind of worried about it, and I get to see you guys. Like, I was like, all right, whatever. It was a cool. I like the place. I mean,
like the X-Files themed art on the wall.
yeah. And then there was like people like buying shit as we were sitting there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, White Claws and everything.
Yeah. Poor Justin was just like, I want the black cherry one now, and I'm just like, whatever, man, here we go.
I had mango grapefruit and black cherry.
I think he was trying to do the whole rainbow of what they had there before it was all over, but and then I was like, and I'm like, PBR on tap? Okay, whatever. Come on, let's go.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it gets warm either way is the way I look at it. So, I mean, and bottled's kind of worse, I feel like, with Pabst, but that's just my personal.
First one I had was Orlando.
Really?
A bottled Pabst. Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. I thought you meant Pabst, period. I'm like, isn't that like what Jacksonville people drink like all the time? Like, Jacksonville like natives drink that like water.
I
You know?
thought everybody.
Yeah.
PBR formula.
We're a Bush man.
Well, hey, at least y'all got a preference though.
I'm
So
drinking enough PBR at bars.
yeah,
I'm drinking on my free time.
yeah, exactly. I kind of like stepped away from IPAs because it was just like, it looks too hipster sometimes. Like, it's just like, no, I'd rather an IPA this time. But then you get headaches too, which I don't get. So it's like, fuck that.
It just works better.
That's what I use it for. I'm like, oh, 2 of these, at least I'll get a kind of a buzz.
I'll
But
grade
like,
it sometimes.
Yeah,
really hoppy.
like I like Goose and like Sierra Nevada and shit like that. Like, that's pretty
We have
fun.
a place called Intuition Jacks. I love their IPAs.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
See, I had a wob like within walking distance, and they got rid of the damn thing. So I'm just like,
wow.
fuck. So there's really no
Roll
like,
the beer, right?
yeah. So
I
there's
know
really,
what you meant.
yeah, okay.
I was like,
For the listeners
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, thank you, because not everybody knows what wob
Let's
is.
fill up.
It's just like when you say B-dubs and people are like, what? I'm like,
Yeah, right.
Buffalo, what? Oh, okay. So tell me,
There you have it on that one.
yeah. So tell me, where, next stop is St. Pete tonight, but tell me the rest of the tour that you guys got going this round.
So we'll be in St. Pete tonight. Then we'll be in Gainesville on Sunday at a place called Civic Media Center. It's like a alternative media store, which is pretty cool. Then we
There you
go
go.
to Tallahassee to a spot called Vacation House. And then we're going to New Orleans at a place called Southport Music Hall, which is going to be sick. I'm stoked to go to New Orleans for the first time ever. And first time we've ever played there. It's going to be probably the furthest west Glazed has ever gone.
It's gonna be great.
And then the tantamount is South by Southwest.
Exactly. So then after New Orleans, it's Houston, and then Austin, Texas for South by Southwest. We're spending 3 days playing showcases throughout the city.
So you guys will be basically around the city, just picking up gigs wherever you can throughout. With
Honestly,
Bliss.
that would be cool, but like we have like 3 showcases we're already on.
Very
and
cool.
That's going to be crazy.
That's awesome.
We're playing Untitled Fest that's sponsored by Mutual Friends Records. We're trying records and Fluff Blog. and we're playing the Smart Punk Records, who are from Orlando. Official showcase of South by Southwest.
It's called Fire Festival.
Fire Festival.
That's funny.
It's gonna be fire.
And Ja Rule will not be in attendance, hopefully.
Cross the fingers.
Yeah.
So it's cool because Smart Punk, we grew up watching Smart Punk stage bands during Warped Tour and stuff like that. Like Forever the Sickest Kids and Katy Perry and Set Your Goals. And
Right.
just a ton of bands that have really come up. And,
Yeah.
so we're thankful for Smart Punk for throwing us on that. And the last one we're playing is the DIY Tour Postings Facebook group showcase,
Right.
which is basically like so Glazed is a very DIY band, which is do it yourself for the listeners there, but it's really much a scene
Right.
throughout the United States, so the world. Just if you're an artist and you don't really have management of any sort, there's someone in the band usually typing the emails and sort of managing the other aspects of being in a band besides writing the music.
Right.
We all just come together to help us out, and that Facebook group is a really good resource
For that.
And it also promotes like inclusivity within the scene too. Like basically, I feel like we've played music because we can, and like that's the only reason. And I think anyone should be able to play music and DIY tour posts
And not have to worry about fucking contracts and like
Yeah,
record
yeah.
deals and shit like that, where you have to push out music and you kind of
Exactly.
you kind of lose that
Yeah.
vibe in the process of a good band or like good
And
like
it's resources like
synergy
that.
in a band, you
Yeah.
know?
And it gives everyone a platform.
Right.
You know what I mean? If everyone needs a place to stand to get started, and I feel like DIY posting it has no filter to what kind of music and what kind of bands they're able to like promote. you
Right.
know?
Or
I think
put
that's
on
what-
at
or
all.
put on
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think another thing about touring too is a lot of people expect like, oh, we're gonna play out of town. There's gonna be packed house and stuff, but sometimes it's not like that. You know, so it's a learning experience. And I think now we kind of look at it as more of like a road trip with your friends that you get to play music on,
Yeah.
versus like, oh, we're a band and we're on tour.
And
Right.
I feel like every night there's someone great that you can meet.
Right.
You know what I mean? You like it, and just being able to appreciate the little things. I feel like everything else can kind of like fall into place.
And what makes it work, I think, is what I'm calling electronic word of mouth, which is basically
Social
all
media
of it.
and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. It's all of us just meeting each other, whether
I
it's
just
in
got a
person
Twitter.
or on the internet.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not gonna talk about Twitter.
And I mean, and that's because we're all like glued to our phones and shit all the
Yeah.
time. So that's how people hear about and Spotify and SoundCloud. That's how you're hearing about new artists today. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just like the radio anymore. Like that's what I think is cool. You know, is that
Yeah.
we're learning about new shit that we were like, meh, and we're putting on those people that we want to see succeed, like you guys, for
Absolutely.
example. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
So,
Appreciate that.
Cause you guys did a Southeast tour like last year, or the year before, right?
Yeah,
or
we
like
did
it
an
was
East
like
Coast tour.
East Coast, yeah. Cause
we've been on a few tours and we book them all ourselves, and these are all fun, and we're stoked to go out west for the first time. And every night, you just kind of get thrown into the fire.
right,
Don't know where you're gonna stay that night, or
Literally Firefest.
right.
or like Reed said, you don't know what the vibe of the show's gonna
Right.
be like. So,
I mean, last night I thought was pretty cool because there's a lot of guys that you guys knew
Yeah.
or that like just lived around Orlando that came out and like Please Be Kind with like
Blaze has
you
some-
know what I mean?
Blaze has some roots in
So-
Orlando.
Well,
Right.
I feel like we have our own little family. You know,
Yeah.
like this is where I feel like our first out of town city where we kind of built like
that fan base.
Yeah, kind of that not even fan base, just like friends
Yeah.
that play
Right.
music, and like we just appreciate each other. Even if we weren't playing music down there, those are the people we hit up to hang out with.
Right.
You know,
And they let us stay over.
Yeah, it's
Right.
awesome. It's awesome.
They take care of us too.
Right.
Shout out to Thinkbox t-shirts. Right?
The Ink Box.
The Ink Box. The Ink Box.
Shout out Overthinker. Shout out Hungover.
Shout out to Tony from
Austin Allison.
Shout out to Hungover, everybody from Orlando.
Shout out
To
to Boston Marriage.
We love you.
And shout out to Cookout.
Shout out to
Costco.
Because I noticed that like last time I was in Jack's, like it's even as like an out of towner, like you guys like have that scene that's very welcoming no matter what.
Yeah.
It's not like you go to a bar and everybody's kind of looking at you funny. You know what I mean? They're just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And you can drink a beer with whoever and still like vibe to the same music and shit.
It's because we're all really fucking weird and just weird, so no one judges each other.
Well, one of my good friends and old roommates, I know I've talked to Justin about this, but I don't know if you guys know Scotch or Mullet, Mike Scott.
I wish I did.
He's one of my good friends. Yeah, he put on Pizza Fest in Jacksonville.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Okay,
So he's shout out Mike if he's watching right now.
Yeah.
But Mike used to live with me, so that's kind of how I got into that kind of like Jack scene first and foremost. Him and Sonny are really tight, so we came there when Burrow Bar was like in its last days for like the last Pizza Fest. Yeah, but I was just like,
Lighthouse, like the new Burrow Bar?
I
Kinda.
yeah.
Same people though?
I don't think so.
Well, interestingly enough, Sonny actually bartends it there now, so it's kind of
Oh,
like I
I know
guess
Sonny,
yeah.
I know Sonny.
So those two are the ones that put on Pizza Fest together. So it was kind of cool to come out and support that. But Burrow Bar, like I'd heard about it, seen stickers on fixed gears all around Orlando from it, and I was just like, I gotta check this place out before it goes.
We played some of our best shows there. We played with a band called Basement there. We played with our friends Boyson for the first time there. We made a lot of friends and played with a lot of really like national, international up and coming artists. And,
Right.
in little old Jacksonville, bro.
Yeah,
right.
And it was through like I think like that sort of DIY personality to our scene that we were able just to like, you know, I don't know, jump over something. We didn't really have to jump over anything to like get on it. It's pretty rad.
Right.
It's like the perfect size venue for the
Yeah.
shows.
It really
Yeah.
was. And all sorts of types of music too, because Jacksonville's rooted with the hardcore scene,
Right.
Yeah.
and that really had some legendary sets.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
from
a bunch
Code
of-
Orange,
That's what we came
I
up
mean,
in too.
Right.
even most recently Code Orange Kids, and then like the Kids Like Us EP release or album release. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Kids Like Us.
And that's the thing is like you say that shit around Orlando or just anywhere in Florida and everybody knows about it. That's what I think is
Yeah,
cool,
it's
and that's
cool.
where the DIY thing comes again because it's word of mouth and electronic word of mouth basically.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But yeah, I actually got to go to Nighthawks too, so I kind of got to see that too. So, but that's where I saw I Hate God, so that was
Okay.
pretty, that was
Oh,
pretty
nice.
good. That was a pretty good
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Pretty more heavy, but so I gotta ask. I mean, first I want to shout out that you guys are on Spotify as Glazed, in case you're looking. New single New York City is out and needs more plays, as many plays as you can do.
Please, we're going for a million.
Just hit it, even if you're just not paying attention. Just hit the damn thing mindlessly. We need more streams for it.
Yeah, follow us too, because then if you follow us, then we get exposure to more people too.
Yes.
Algorithms.
Yeah.
And when we release new music soon, you'll be able to see it. as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
exactly.
We might be releasing new music soon, but we don't even know yet.
See,
No, we will be. We just don't know.
but you've changed their full length album, right? Is on Spotify as
For
well,
sure,
so
for
definitely
sure.
check that out. I've been bumping that lately.
Hell
So I well, when it first came out, I was promoting it on my Facebook, but it was.
Thank you.
I don't have many friends, first of all, so it's not like it went that far. But I was just like, fuck it, like I gotta show love. So, but I love that album. So,
Thank you, man.
but I gotta ask. I know you kind of went into it a little bit, but how did you guys start? Like, was it just kind of like garage band tendencies that just kind of evolved, or?
Well, when I was like 16, I really wasn't involved. The only drums I was doing was kind of through church bands and everything.
Right,
Justin kind of had a history, even with Brian. They were in a band when they were like 14.
right,
You know, playing shows. Who was playing shows for the people that were booking like Burrow Bar, Atticus,
Pit,
right. Pit, yeah.
what's that?
Rock Bar,
No, the place where the coffee shop Fuel.
Fuel.
Even back then, like
Atticus Bar.
yeah, we never played there, but they just during that era and like
Yeah, going to shows when we were kids.
I remember
Before
we
Friends booking.
Yeah, shout out Rory.
yeah
Fight for first.
Rory, shout out too. Yeah, the and then I guess locals started, and then me and Justin were locals together for the longest time, and then it kind of developed into fluctuating members and stuff. Sound was kind of changing, and then we were like, you know what? I think Glazed is a more appropriate band name for who we were and like the sound that we were kind of coming out with.
Right.
So
Yeah, I want to say like we started the band because like we almost had to because all the bands that we were in separately kind of fell apart and we were really still about this life and well, we found each other and eventually it got to being this lineup, but it came through just being like 14, 15-year-olds coming up in the Jacksonville scene, trying to go to shows and get, I don't know, like try to get noticed, you know, get credit from the older kids for the
Right.
scene vets, but like at the same time, you know what I mean, like foster this culture of like openness and growing it really.
And I find more respect for that than somebody that just kind of showed up in Jax, like just blew in and was like, we're going to be in the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that doesn't know Jax and doesn't know the bars.
We did our fucking work, y'all.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a minute.
Go read. Fine.
God, just give him the microphone. Jesus.
So Brian and I were in a band called Fight for First broke up, and two of the members of that were the singer and bass player of the original Locals band. And so that actually
We were called Locals.
Five,
Right.
yeah,
Thanks,
5 out
guys.
of 6 of the members of that band have actually ran through this band.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, when I first,
You sound like victims. Like, yeah, they just kind of ran through us and left. And left us cold
Didn't
and
even buy me
crying.
dinner.
And we're crying. And I don't know why.
I just want to say, like, when I first started, first joined, in, like 2013,
Yeah.
and, like, I didn't really think we were ever gonna like
Be serious.
be this serious. I always wanted to be
Yeah,
this serious,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
didn't think it was because usually you're like, oh, the band for 2 years and then break up, and start new band for 2 years and then break up. And I think something about Glazed that kind of gives us a lot of credit is we've been around for like longer than bands, and then we're still together in bands that have started and broken up. That maybe they had like a spike in their fame or 15 minutes fame, but they burned out and we're still kicking it as friends, just playing music.
And I think it's lasted because it's just a reflection of like who we are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we there's full transparency. So it's like even when if we're struggling or if we're like I don't know.
Yeah, I think like just no one has an ego in this band, and that really adds to like just not judging each other, not judging anyone, and kind of just living in the moment and having goals. Certainly.
Justin does have AirPods though, so I don't know about that.
Hey, I make you feel better. I have AirPods too. I just don't show them. I don't show them off. As
It's
much,
a fan
so.
run to the
You
fan. I knew it.
Hey, it's great. It's like you're exiting the world and entering your own world.
I'm sorry, I don't speak broke. So I just put that in. And I just walk around like, oh, sorry, important call. I gotta fucking take off.
I slept with him last night.
Yeah, you can do that.
Wait, you talking to me?
I feel like because I just I just recently became a manager at my job, so I kind of feel like almost like a badass when I put it in and go, I'll talk to you later, I'll see you later, and I'll just like put that in and walk away. Sorry, corporate, I gotta go.
Is it rude to exit from reality like that?
No.
Just fuck it.
I just do it less casual.
Liar, no. He's so analog, that's all it is.
I listen to cassette tapes.
The Android version.
Yeah.
You guys and your little neck things.
I'll lose if I didn't wear my cassette. I cannot keep up with it.
Justin and I are about the aesthetic. They're about the utility.
Yeah, says the man in.
This is aesthetic. We're going to Texas.
No, that's something. I don't know the aesthetics.
Well, nice visor, you weirdo.
Wow.
Alright, we're
I just like to point out that we were just talking about chemistry, and it's all simultaneously falling apart, like right now.
Oh my God.
See, this is why my dog needs to be the intern, and just like I need to strap like a little beer vest here, like, come on in, come
That would
on.
be incredible.
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
So,
Hey, we don't judge each other.
and that's the thing,
Really
like
cool.
you guys, like I saw that firsthand last night. Like you were like pulling up like other bands that were there. I mean, not just the ones you were on tour with, but ones that just kind of like slid in to the the act.
Like,
Like,
the band that hopped on the show.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
Please Be Kind. Like she's
Okay,
like
yeah,
brand new. So from what
Yeah.
it sounds like, and just talking to her when I met her, and you guys were like sounded great. Like and it was.
Thank you.
And it was kind of cool.
Have a good
'cause-
time?
yeah, and I mean there was no judgment either. That's what was cool, because especially because you're like by herself, so you think like all eyes on you. Like fuck, I probably couldn't do it personally.
right,
Like it's kind of like it's more intense.
When we
So.
play that late, it's dangerous. But,
And I just like to point out what kind of cracked me up is like you right before you like look. I forgot who you looked at, but you're like, I'm a little scared. Are you ready? And I'm just like, what? And then you just went into it. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool.
yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it's wild because we mix. There's such tiny moving parts to this whole thing,
Right.
and like when it actually comes time to doing the thing that you're there for, I can't even describe it. Like it could be scary.
I like that. I do that all the time. When I start, I'm like, crack, here we go.
Bush baby.
Bush baby.
Shh.
I mean, push.
Yeah, whatever.
We're not getting paid.
Tush.
Yeah. But I will gladly take a Bush endorsement for the band.
Yeah, or I'll take a Coors if we can get it while we're here.
Yo, Mia Khalifa looking for a sponsor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Big yikes.
So, overall, you kind of gave me like a little synopsis of like the overall scene in Jax, but what do you think of it now? Because I know you guys, like, when you're not on tour, that's primarily where you're playing at, right?
Yeah.
So do you find like yourselves in a certain like aesthetic or certain amount of bars, like just kind of make the rounds basically, or
We're the old guys now.
really?
Yeah.
Really? So there's like the younger kid. What the hell is this?
Okay, so I'll tell you what. So we're all like in our mid-20s right now, ish. They're in their early 20s. I won't put you on the spot like that.
That's mid.
I'm actually mid.
24.
I'm 25, but
We're not much younger.
we've been playing shows.
We've
We've been playing shows in Jacksonville for like a decade, and it was a very different scene when we were coming up. It was
Right.
you know, people were like fighting each other at every show. There were like Nazi skinhead dudes that would come out to the shows, gang members, and
Boots and braces, huh?
and then there would be
Fucking,
like
I swear to God.
there'd be like little,
I
there'd be
I
like
swear to
little
God.
kids like us who were just trying to like be in a band, and we're caught up all in it, and we kind of survived through that whole like
You had,
bullshit
shit
tough guy era.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
don't go near him. You might get
And honestly, like, I feel like a lot of the bands like weren't very diverse either, so it was a lot of the same fucking like, just like what's the word?
even
I'm
in like
looking
pop
for?
punk with us, it was all
Yeah, it was almost like the same. Like there was no diversity in the sound or the people. And, like, honestly, I feel like we brought like just this like flavor when we started playing shows, and then
this is like mature.
And-
and it
yeah.
inspired a lot of people to start bands.
Right.
And they would come to us and play shows when they'd come into Jack. Shout out Bobby Kid. Shout out to Runner's High. And honestly, like, so we come out of this like kind of like very tough guy, ran by the same kind of hardcore people.
That think American
Scene.
History X is like the greatest movie alive.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But not everyone was like that.
Right.
And like the people who helped us in the beginning, like Rory McCoy. Thank you very much, man, for giving us a shot, man. Our first show, me and Brian's first show was like with this band called Socratic, and it was like Drive Thru Records' last era band, and like now we're playing St. Pete tomorrow, so fuck.
Yeah.
To be on the subject, to be on the subject of
Y'all are like, oh yeah, shit, we gotta go to St. Pete's. Yeah.
So that's a little, just a bite-sized perspective of the old scene. Nowadays, our friend David from a band called Teen Divorce started a new DIY venue. So like we were playing like warehouses and art studios in very sketchy areas of Jacksonville. We saw Title Fight play there, like Touche Amore and Tiger's Jaw. And for a while, Jax didn't really have a DIY scene after this place called Unit 6 closed.
Which is where I saw
Where you
Dan
saw
Sill
us.
play
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
forever
Shout
ago.
out to
So
Dan Sill.
I was actually kind of glad I got to see that before it shut down, because I heard that. I
So
mean,
you remember going to
yeah,
Unit 6?
and I mean, it was kind of like pulling up, like, where the fuck are we? Like, but then you get in there and you're just like, this is fucking cool.
Quarter pipe in the back,
Right.
half pipe is-
It was like an Adventure Time mural. It was sick.
Yeah,
But
and I feel like that's where you see the best shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just
For
now,
sure.
but like back in the day, you talk to growner folk than us that are just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw like the doors in this like hole in the wall, and then they point it out, and you're just like, really? Like, fuck that. Like, I wouldn't go in there.
And that really was a magical time. I'd say that this was around like 2011 to 2013, 2014.
Yeah, because it was 2011 when I went to Unit 6.
Well, no, we got to play. So Glazed was a band there, and we got to open for bands like You Blew It and Dikembe, which are like
Very cool.
they're hallmarks of the Florida DIY emo scene, and kind of like Spitting, super emo band that we got to play with. Daylight, who's now super, yeah, super heavy. So out of that, you know, after those places stopped having shows, there was nothing. And then our friend David started a venue in his house. I'd say like a year and a half ago.
Really?
And it really
Talk about DIY.
yeah, in his fucking living room. And,
His neighbor was deaf. It was like all the stars were kind of like aligned for there to be kind of like a little slot in a suburban neighborhood for the perfect DIY
It
spot.
wasn't much bigger than this room. Right
No,
now.
Really?
it wasn't.
yeah.
And I mean, just seeing how it developed and seeing the culture that it kind of fostered in Jacksonville, almost like, yes, a platform for a bunch of bands to be able to play, but almost an attitude
It
and
was a
approach
spark.
and like
Yeah.
like kind of
when I
like
came back.
yeah, gave kind of Jacksonville a name again,
Right.
You know, and like maybe just like a little fizzle,
Right.
you know,
Right.
So
It was
and
definitely dead for a while. I feel like it was just like stale.
Stale,
Like,
I think it'd be the right
No
word.
one really cared about like the
there were still
DIY,
chips in the
like,
bag, you know what I'm saying?
But also now it's like now I see like high schoolers and shit coming out to shows, but back then I don't feel like it was just
Yeah,
like a bunch
right.
of like 21-year-olds who were like they had nothing better to do, so whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of those younger kids who came out to their shows started bands,
Yeah.
and they, you know, it's just a living.
Shout out
organism.
Hensley.
Yeah, shout out Dore.
Yeah.
Phase wave.
I think that's a different era, but
Oh,
Shut
whatever.
up, man.
Whatever. I don't know.
Base Wave is like
I'm
too
from
cool.
Tallahassee.
They're awesome.
So I gotta ask you guys what you would label it besides DIY. What, since that's like, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
newer, but what would you categorize yourself?
Okay,
That's a little
gotcha.
bit more.
DIY is more of our ethics and
Right.
our guiding principle.
Right.
Our genre,
Yeah.
Fake emo.
yeah, people call us fake emo.
Really.
Might as well own it now.
Yeah.
It's the Better1 podcast.
Hey,
fake emo.
first you heard it here first. That's all.
But I listen,
Hey.
for the record, I listen to Page 99 and Orchids.
And Righteous- and Righteous Spring
Yeah,
After
really emo, I just, you know, like a little pop.
Hey, I hate myself.
Hey,
I hate God.
Midwest Penthouse. Summer we went west.
Dude,
Algernon Santa Wallader.
West, yeah. On the Mighty Princess.
Oh, 2 nights?
Yeah.
But
But I'd say that our sound is really rooted in this sort of nostalgic sounding drive-through records-y, vagrant records-y, Equal Visions records-y, early 2000s, late 90s sort of.
You love Saves the Day.
Yeah, we like Saves the Day,
Yeah.
Dashboard
Weatherbox,
Professional.
Dashboard,
Weatherbox.
Get Up Kids.
Yeah, because I was gonna
King
compare it to
Sunday.
Dashboard for sure. Like I definitely
Yeah.
see some influence of that in there.
And Dashboard's from Florida, and you know, we were actually jamming Dashboard last night really hard.
Hard. Hard.
Stolen,
We love
shout out
that.
to Stolen.
That's a great song.
It always makes me think I can harmonize, you know?
There was that one moment last night when we just like,
Oh my god, it's like a chorus!
This is the scene from Wayne's World. This is our moment.
dude,
A Dashboard
if
Confessional.
we place at a Wayne's World scene,
Yeah.
it would be Dashboard.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, because
Yeah.
Tyler, who's the co-host on the show, shout out Tyler. He couldn't be here. He's at work, currently
Yeah,
working for the
Tyler.
man, Papa John himself, right
Hey.
now.
Hey.
Yes.
We got a man, we got a man.
He kind of said you guys sounded like Story so far, so I hope that's not an insult. First and
I
foremost.
love that.
Okay, just making sure, because like,
love Story
oh,
so
what
far.
the fuck? Be like, oh, sorry.
We grew up playing shows in the scene that the Story So Far and like Transit and Man Overboard and the Wonder Years were coming into.
Right.
Those are bands we used to open
And
for.
the story so far is only like a year or two older. Like Parker Cannon's a year older than me.
Really.
The drummer's probably the same age.
Sort of discouraging. But now-
Damn. We are old, aren't we?
Why can't we?
Which is funny because I feel like a lot of our lyrics nowadays are about time running out.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's they're like, fuck 30's coming. Like, we gotta do something now. Before somebody puts a bun in the oven, it's like game over. Fuck it.
I want a kid too.
Who's gonna be first?
Yeah. I'm taking bets. Who's first?
It's gonna be Brian.
Brian. And then, you're the, never mind.
23.
More energy, man.
More life.
He's the only one with a girlfriend, so.
So realistically.
Me?
And next.
Moving on.
So those you would say those are who you draw inspiration from mainly.
Definitely.
Then.
I mean, honestly, if you really want to pinpoint it out, you could call us pop punk, you could call us alternative rock. all under the umbrella of guitar-driven, emotional music.
Right.
Yeah. And we all get influences from different people.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? I feel like we all have a different.
I love hip-hop music. We all
Yeah.
do, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I love metalcore.
yeah, Slipknot.
Yeah,
I love
shit.
System of a Down. Shout out.
Knotfest is actually coming to Tampa in September, by the way. So I want to go fucking see it.
I
Even
did RSVP to the
though- and
event.
even though I was that Slipknot kid in high school, like once
Dude,
after
I've never
oh,
seen him live. and I
really?
always wanted to see him.
I got to see him when All Hope Is Gone came through Orlando, but after that, that's where my love kind of faded away personally.
They started
Once
letting
like
other
Paul,
people make
what?
them ass.
Once Paul, just let your mom make it again, dude. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like Paul Gray died, then they got rid of Joey Jordison, and I'm just like, nah, I can't really.
Joey
Joey
like
Jordison.
2006 after Swole versus.
That was when it.
That would have been like peak.
Right, exactly. But
Back
they.
then I thought they were corny, but I got older. I'm like, this shit's heavy.
Yeah, I fucking love it. Because then Korn went dubstep and then back and then like
No,
and then,
you're just listening to Coming Undone with it. Their Dim franchise.
Oh,
collab.
that- I remember that shit.
Someone mixed it as a meme. No, they signed contract to get that record out. It's like all of it, like.
I'm
And then-
coming. I'm back.
well, and then the funny part is with Twisted Transistor in the music video, they got Snoop Dogg and like other people in that video, which never like
Honestly,
crossed
it would
over
be dope
before.
for Glazed to have that sort of
Yes.
synergy with hip-hop artists.
Yes.
You know?
Because I feel like confidence. I feel like confidence through music. I never really was able to relate to, but hip hop puts a pep in my step. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm like, I don't have
Well,
to
it gets-
walk off the Nobody white people be like.
It really butters my biscuit, guys.
Love it.
But I mean, no, it just makes like my favorite's like 3-6 because that just gets you fucking hyped. Like yeah, like any of them, like you separate together, like that just like
Big
that's-
lurch.
that'll get me fucking hyped no matter what. And it's
CCJ?
oh yeah, where do you think the juice came from? That's-
One of my favorite
Rolling
MTV
papers.
cribs is Redman.
yeah, exactly.
It is casual as hell. Still had some in the microwave.
Yeah, the damn screen doors like almost like brought off the door itself,
Honestly,
hinges itself.
It's surprising how much hip-hop has an influence on Glazed's sound.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
yes. It's just like in the flow and in the lyrics and in the way that we reference other things in the songs. So it's sort of meta. Like it's
Yeah.
not. We're not like painting this like exclusive landscape. We're sort of like recognizing real.
Right,
Which-
exactly.
because we're real. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, and it goes both ways. I mean, rap does the same thing with hardcore, like heavy metal
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit
Well,
like
it's
that.
two genres that have been birthed in the streets. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rap
This is
like
music made by the
hip-hop.
people.
Right,
Rap
Yeah,
is the new
absolutely.
punk, straight up.
it is.
Like, and punk music now, it's like,
Yeah.
man, oh, you're playing a punk band?
Well, and now it's like emo goth rap, you know? Like I'm just like, I mean, it's cool, but it's like it's a totally different genre that we didn't think was. But then we grew up with new metal, so I guess we should have been
Yeah,
kind
Rest in
of.
peace, Lil Peep.
Yeah, like I feel like we should have been like a little aware of what was gonna happen, but we're just like, whatever, fucking new metal.
Well, it's cool now to see, like, people from literally all different walks of life just, like, doing music.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like anything.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
No matter where you're from.
Right. It's like we're like Death Grips, and then like Linkin Park, and then this, and you're just like, whatever, just fucking play.
Dude,
like,
I feel like Limp Bizkit style hip hop metal's coming back.
Well,
I'm
another
saying
thing,
that right now.
another thing
I
with
can see
hip-hop-
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I can
I'm
see
telling you.
it.
There's gonna be
Okay.
new projects
Okay.
that come out, dude.
Well,
I'm telling you.
the thing about hip hop is like it's okay to experiment to be weird and it's like
Yes.
not frowned upon. But I feel like when it comes to like genres like emo or pop punk or whatever, metal, it's like, oh well, if you don't do that, that makes it weird. That's
Yeah.
not how it should be written.
And
Right.
we're doing, and I feel like that's where Glazed has an influence on that. We don't have to play in the same yard as other people.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You just write songs
And
like,
that's-
this sounds cool.
Wait for this new EP to drop. You'll know what we're talking about.
Well, and that's what'll keep you guys going and keep you creative and not just get stagnant and just be like, meh, we're the old
Yeah.
guys. Like, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. You know.
Absolutely.
What would, besides the new album, what would you say is next for Glazed as a whole? Like, what do you think you guys are?
Somewhere
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Keep touring, film a music video for the first time in our career, which is like we really
And be
want
proud
to
of
do
it.
that. Yeah. Something like I think a lot of times, like, you know, in the past probably 10 years, there's this charm that's gone missing from music videos because of this, like, online, like, instant gratification sort of, like, era that we're in. And, like, we grew up watching, like, MTV2 and Fuse and,
Right.
and Yahoo Music going online and
Oh,
watching,
yeah.
like, yeah. And, like, there was just, like, so much more thought and creativity. And, like, we want to do something that, like, will really, like, put people in that mood. It's not just, like, oh,
Like MTV Unplugged and shit, you know? Like, that's, like, not a thing anymore, you know?
I love the Catalyst music video, all that premiere for Levi and Laura, like stuff like that. That's like, whoa, this is a fucking music video.
Right.
Not like this is like someone's DSLR, like, and you're just DIYing it, which is kind of ironic. But
Like, all, like, okay.
we watched Wonderwall by Oasis. We're like, dude, that's a good video.
Right, mirrors.
Wow. Floor to ceiling.
I think with music videos you see a lot of like a band playing in like an abandoned house, and then like there's some other storyline going on. That's not everything to do. Like there's some girl running in a field.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. And I think when I watch these videos by like Blink-182 and stuff, it's like they're running naked around downtown. So I want to watch it not just because I like music, because like the video just.
He wants to see naked.
And
You're not wrong. But there's like a charm that got lost when people started being like, oh, they look like super cool versus like, let's just make it entertaining.
Yeah. Because I feel like Photoshop and like just editing the fuck out of everything just became more popular, and just like instead of just doing something like off rip and going with it, you know, to make it like innovative and cool.
You can copy and paste bands in different music videos and they look the exact same.
Right.
You know what I mean? And something that we like, I don't see the credibility in copying ideas of exactly how people have done it in the past.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's not like it loses its individuality.
Right.
You know, and like that's something that I feel like we find a lot of pride in. You know what I mean?
He's wearing a visor.
Yeah.
And we got
Visors
Reed.
aren't cool, but now they're fucking cool.
And we got Reed
I
who-
think it's on. You know, glazed visors, that's what's coming next.
I'm getting a tattoo.
Well, and Reed kind of looks like the pop punk like Garth Brooks right now. So we're going to Texas. I just like to point that out.
Dude, bands should come out with a leather boot.
She thinks my tractor's sexy! It really turns me.
I was telling him last time that he should have like the little microphone, like right over the ear microphone, like right here.
Oh my gosh. I'd say another thing that we're trying to accomplish this year is like, honestly, we would love to hire a manager.
Yeah.
Someone who could be like a behind the scenes fifth member of Glazed to like help guide us and also
Push us.
know people.
Right.
Yeah, and someone that holds the same kind of passion for it, that believes in us.
Right.
Someone who gives a shit just like we are.
Yeah, and not just goes, yeah, I kind of know somebody that owns a bar. You know, it's like,
Exactly.
okay, well, that's one venue that we can play at. That's not really management, you know?
And I think patience will bring us that person.
Right.
Yeah. So if anyone who
Yes.
jams Glazed,
Listening or...
we'd like a manager.
Let the EP drop.
And then
We'll see you in the emails.
Yeah.
But dollar signs talk, though, so, you know, put your money where your mouth is, too, with it.
$50.
We pay more of a bartering
Hey,
system.
we're marketable. We're a diverse group of young men, and we're all, you know, so loud individually with our personalities that you should sign us.
Sign me, bro.
None of us tuck our shirts in.
Hey, on the weekdays.
Like, I feel like you'll have to go, like, old school. Oh, shots fired. I do. Okay. No,
But weeknights?
I have to.
Weeknights.
I have to too. I hate that shit. I'm just like get home, just like fucking shirt and gym shorts.
It's
Like,
like,
that's
you know,
like,
like if a girl's like just like no, they always like take off the bra. Like it's liberating.
Yeah.
For us, it's that, like,
yeah.
Dude, I just found the beauty of showering before bed. I know that's gross, but it feels good. I didn't realize why my... Never mind.
When's the last time you took a bubble bath?
2014, after my first semester of 1100 classes of thing, I listened to I don't know how I remember this, but Transatlanticism, and my parents, I was home alone, and I got to...
After he cut off the hub.
Hey, no, I've learned. That shit floats. You went out the pass. All right, then enter. But you gotta wait a little bit because it's still. Hey, you gotta go pee and then you can do it again, right? All right, yeah.
A little sex education.
Yeah, pre-cum can get girls.
Yeah, wrap it up, y'all.
Glazed gets sexy.
He's gonna have his first baby.
I got 2 rapid fire questions before we go. Favorite venue you've played at or venue that you want to play at in the future?
I think it'd be cool to play House of Blues at some point in my life.
So what's the favorite venue you played at? Freebird. Freebird's pretty cool.
I'm gonna go with Planet Zarvez in St. Augustine.
Yeah. And seeing how that's transformed and survived is kind of like us. Because
Yeah.
they've always been good, but have just now started getting some credibility. Or not
Skate
just
park
now.
in Tampa, that was cool.
Skate park in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds fucking cool,
I saw
too.
that
That
in
was
videos
sick.
in middle school, you know what I mean?
Right.
I forgot my skateboard was.
Honestly, it would be dope to play Red Rocks.
Red Rocks would.
I think that's out in Colorado.
Or like, what's it called? Gilman 924 or something?
Or like
Chain Reaction?
Honestly,
CBGB?
Hey, I don't want to
Yeah.
play the Masquerade like heaven.
Oh
knows.
yeah, Masquerade.
I think that would be awesome.
Right.
We would love to play there. That'd be such a milestone in our careers.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like Madison
I mean,
Square
this-
Garden.
Yeah. Daly's place in Jacksonville.
Yeah, whoa.
Right.
The other one I got.
Honestly, this one show at Veg Fest, right? So the year before we had played, they set up a whole stage for us with a whole PA, and we're like, they asked us to play the second year, and we're like, heck yes, dude, this is gonna be
A
awesome.
huge stage.
A huge stage, dude. Like I'm saying, like whoa.
Like Warped Tour
And then
stage.
next year we show up. And it's a karaoke machine with a mic plugged in under a little tent, and they didn't have a mic stand.
With
so we
no
had a tent
mic stand.
With no mic stand. It was awesome, dude. It was awesome. But honestly, that like
It was still fun, though.
it was probably one of the best sets and like best times we've had.
Yeah, because
Like,
everyone was
awesome.
still going wild. And
Yeah.
And we
that
had
mic
Mike
was-
with chicken wings before, so we were like, yeah, fuck the vegetarian.
Yeah. Hey, I'm vegetarian now, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
dude. I'm about to fight
Oh,
you for saying
no.
Hey,
that.
go grab me a beer.
I'm John Wayne.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
It's WWE underwater right now, everyone.
So
Bury you under my house.
yeah, so I feel like us playing like that show just like made concrete like that we just don't take ourselves that seriously.
Right.
But we take
They-
the music serious.
Yeah,
But
you're
we-
humble
but we
enough
take
to
everything
do
seriously.
shit like
And
where it's
having
just
fun
like
is, like,
if it rains, fuck it, we can do it, you know. Or if it's
Yeah.
like if it's
Well, no,
or
dude,
it's a
I was,
stupid
like-
venue,
I
it's
was
like whatever.
upside down singing into a mic that was just pointing down, and it was just like and it's like we weren't mad or anything either.
The year before,
Man, everybody with an ego, man, who complained about that
Exactly.
shit.
It's like
not on our
fuck
team.
expectations. It's
Yeah.
like go into this with the mentality that you already have. and, like,
Expectation is the root of all heartache.
Very wise words. Yeah.
Hey.
All right.
I'm
So
gonna snap.
final question: favorite band you've toured with, or one in the future that you want to tour with?
Good thoughts.
Hungover. I mean, Hungover and Good Thoughts.
Wait,
I mean,
favorite band
I
you
feel
toured
like
with?
every band that we've toured with has like had its own taste and like being so fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like two completely different bands, two completely different set of dudes, but like there was something that like equally we were able to appreciate about. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yeah.
we just had our first night with Bliss, but I mean, we've known them kind of.
So,
So like it wasn't that like
2014.
odd of like a transition. It felt natural. So
Right.
I'm
they're cool dudes.
Bliss is the biggest band we've ever.
Yeah, right.
They
Right.
are fucking awesome from
Yeah.
Atlanta, and
Sergeant House Records.
they're signed to Sargent House Records.
Yeah.
And they've
We respect them a lot.
we do respect
They're
them.
really
And it really kind of like it kept us accountable. We're like, all right, we gotta take this up a notch. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And
'cause-
like with practice, with repair.
Yeah.
The only way you can
It's
really
just
grow
about-
as a band is if you like kind of take it to the next level every time. Like
Yeah.
he did an interview with Soupy Campbell from the Wonder Years, and he said something about like the snowball effect. Like you just kind of get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
It rolls and rolls and rolls, and so like if you bring out a smaller band that doesn't have any fans, you're just gonna kind of limit yourself. You kind of have.
Sorry, Bliss. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sorry for bringing you down at all. You're helping us out, so thanks.
They're incredible songwriters.
Yeah,
and,
they're
and
so
They really are.
we met them in 2014, and they just really, in my mind, was like, damn, this is the standard of just a great band with an Atlanta sound, and I swear, I could have never imagined that we'd be touring with them.
And I feel like we rep the same Southern culture. You know what I mean? Like Atlanta's home to kind of put Southern music on the map. I mean, starting with Outkast, obviously. But I mean, they also have some country, but I feel like culturally, Atlanta's the hub for Southern, like pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's that sort of twinkly, like, noodly, just emotional Southern rock, like, that's the wave.
It is. It is. We're
You gotta
noodling.
put some twang in your voice.
Yeah, send me your noodles.
Send noodles. On GarageBand.
Well, I gotta thank you guys because I've always had my dream of like Rolling Stone-esque type interview with a band, and this is my first one ever. So,
This is a great
I wanna
time.
keep going.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys coming out and doing this because I believe me, I was like, I wanted to jump in on the interview gang, but like it's me and my buddy Tyler, so we can't really interview each other. We're not that interesting.
Yeah.
So
Well, dude, I think
We can hook you up with more bands if you want.
yeah, and I bet people would love to do
Really?
this.
yeah,
for sure,
definitely.
for
I mean, send them my way. You know, obviously you can see I'm always welcoming as hell. Just
Absolutely.
let them me know. And
I listen to a podcast religiously called the 9 Club, and I love it. And it's just cool to hear other people's stories and where they came from, and it just kind of made, like, I was talking last night about how I didn't really like a band until I saw like a live or like a tour documentary, and I was like, oh, they're like real people. Or it was Title Fight. I was like, thought they were like snobs, and I saw a documentary. I was like, oh, they're like real humans.
Right.
Are funny.
they
Yeah.
do exist.
have the
And
same-
Yeah, it's cool to hear people talk, and you're like, oh wow.
And that-
They're not that bad.
and
They
that's
seem cool.
literally, if I'm not doing this or like doing any project pertaining to this, I'm just watching interviews on podcasts because
Yeah.
that's what like you said, that's where I feel like you get to learn the artists that you
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
Besides just what like the
Written as a
that-
tone.
that-
No, jumping
believe
in.
it
I
or
feel
not-
this is our first
Yeah.
it's like cool. It's like, and this is we've been doing interviews, but I feel like it was comfy. It was really
Yeah.
comfy. Like we
Right.
didn't have,
Family, bro.
right.
dude. We have sucked at interviews before.
I
Dude.
know.
We have some
Yeah.
awful, dude.
Yo,
like
let
just
me-
some awful
Don't
experiences.
do
but-
psychedelics the night before.
Yeah, Reed's like,
Just me.
We spend a lot of time with intricacy, and we're like, Reed, what are you saying right now?
It was a bad night.
And honestly, take everything we say with a grain of salt, everyone
Yeah.
who's listening.
This
Because
is just, and
We're just off the dome, like, kind of messing around. Like, we don't practice this stuff, so really we just like to have fun and be funny, and we're all comedians first and musicians second.
Food critics
hey,
zero.
and if you're out there, we love you. Like we
Absolutely.
like
And
we
if
like
you're
you.
single and you're trying to mingle, call us.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Dude.
No,
I'm
like,
trying to look for my cowgirl.
Yeah.
Move.
I just want to give a shout out to anyone who's ever listened to Glazed
Yes, for real.
before, because the fact that
Let us
people
crash
know,
your house.
people who know, just the fact that people like know us at all is very humbling and cool.
And like the experience that you gave us have helped us mature into like who we're not even yet. You know what I mean? Like we're still just
And
growing.
yeah, we want to thank you, Josh, for sure, for having us
Yeah.
on the show.
Of course, anytime,
Everybody subscribe to the show. Everybody
Better
pre-save
One
the
podcast, the number one.
man. Do the damn thing is what I always like to
Do
say.
the damn
Glazed
thing.
FL,
Yeah.
Instagram, Spotify,
And
Bandcamp.
all these links will be available in the video, so
Yes, yes,
believe
yes.
me,
Shout out to Dolphins.
we're coming to you live.
Yeah,
from
okay,
over the
Reed,
sea
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Fuck SeaWorld.
Yes,
SeaWorld.
On that note, thank you guys.